What's going on, Bull fam? Um, I had to shower to kind of like take the stench off from this loss. Man, I know we're feeling it right now. I'm pretty beat. Luckily, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I really lowered my expectations for this team after last week. That I'm like, this one, it bothered me. It bothered me more for a few different reasons, but it didn't anger me to the point that last week did. After last week, I was like, okay, yeah, we're not going to be a great team, at least defensively. I lowered my expectations on that. At this point, I was out on Staley. I just needed him to stay the hell away from Justin Herbert and this offense and just try to be average. But this game did affect me in a way because it highlighted that the Chargers have much more issues than just offense or defense in general. The offense didn't look great. And it's not like it looked terrible, but there were certain things that I think we need to point out. And one thing we got to talk about, and I'm only going to say this because I know a lot of people are not going to like this, but the reality is that this isn't just, this can't just be put on one person. There's a lot of blame to go around. I think the game plan for today could have been better. I don't like the fact that Joshua Kelly had 13 carries for 39 yards. I felt like the Titans' front seven really handled themselves extremely well. We couldn't get any running lanes. I felt like we were very inefficient in running the ball. But as much as we love this man and I see all the potential, we have to be very critical. I'm not going to be a delusional fan. And the truth is, Justin Herbert came up short. And we'll talk about this, man. Look, man, I love you. You are now the second highest paid quarterback in the league, and I believe in you. But the problem is that we have seen you fall short way too often in these moments. I understand that coaching is not the best, but at some point we have to eliminate excuses, and you came up short today. And it's not just the fact that we came up short. It's the fact that we look absolutely terrible in those situations. I mean, the 2-minute drive against the Dolphins, we got sacked twice. The offensive confused. The offensive line looked like they forgot how to pick up a blitz. It just looked bad. Now we had an opportunity to put this game away multiple times this game. It wasn't just in overtime. We had a chance to score at the end of the game before we even got into overtime, and again, we took a sack. We go into overtime, and we couldn't even pick up a first down. How is that possible, man? Not even one first down? I could not for the life of me figure that out. And I'm looking at like the plays, and the first play, Herbert made a horrible read. He threw into double coverage. The fact that that wasn't intercepted was insane. Then we run the ball. We get a few yards. Again, at that point, I felt like we should have just abandoned the run. We were way past the point where we should have abandoned the run. And then on third down, we ran a play that it felt like everyone was confused. I don't know what Mike Williams was doing, what his job was in that play, but it looked like everyone was lost. And for some reason, it felt like we were also trying to hurry the offense up. I'm like, why? We had a whole 10 minutes of overtime. Why are we in hurry-up mode? When we needed a drive to win the game, we couldn't even pick up a first down, very similar to Miami. And this was a game where I'm like, all right, we already had a week to rub off the rust. We still came out flat. We still could not get the job done. And we just looked terrible when we needed it the most. That's inexcusable. I don't want to hear it. That was absolutely inexcusable. Look, man, I'm a little beat. I'm a little beat. I want to be optimistic, but this game really highlighted that the Chargers have much more problems than just Brandon Staley and this defense. But we do got some stuff to talk about on the offensive side because, look, I love you, Herbert, but you need to be more clutch. You do have 13 game-winning drives, but we needed this. You need to put up numbers now. Please don't let Acho be right. We all know how good you are. But I will say another thing that's bothering me about this offense is this. He did make some terrible reads during the game, right? But because there was a few times where I saw some first down receivers open and he didn't get it to them. But there's another thing that I haven't liked so far, and that is the fact that it feels like we never put Herbert in situations to be able to run the ball. Like, please don't do what Josh Allen does. He apparently wants to just die because he just be trying to run people over. Don't do that. If you need 3 yards, it just feels like we treat you like Phillip Rivers. Like, you are more athletic than a lot of the quarterbacks in the league. If you needed to go get 3 yards, I feel like you are more than capable enough to do that. But it feels like he's just never mobile. He's so stationary. And I feel like if we added that threat, it makes our team so much more difficult to defend. I don't know. It's just, to me, I don't like. The offense has been okay. Like this week, I thought it was going to be better through the air. It wasn't terrible. 27-41, 305 yards, 2 tubs. Keenan Allen was an absolute monster, man. I am so happy to see you healthy and out there. Man, you have looked amazing. That was the bright side of this game. Keenan Allen. Everyone else was mid, but yeah, I think our offense needs to be better. Now, this is where I'm extremely concerned. And why, look, the Chargers were 2 of 14 on 3rd down. That is crazy. 2 of 14 on 3rd down. How do you win a game like that? Okay. I feel like yards per attempt. I feel like we should have abandoned the run a little more in this game, but you know what? I get it. You were trying to keep them honest. I wasn't extremely mad, but it felt like we had way too many runs that were inefficient. Again, the offense just seems confused. I don't know. I thought the offense would be a little better, so I don't have the utmost confidence as I did before. So I really need that to change because, man, I want to believe in you, Kellen Moore. I'm a little sad. That was the one positive I had, but like I said, that's why I think this game, really just discouraged me more about this team, because it's not just the defense at this point. There are issues on the offensive side of the ball as well, and if the offense can't carry the weight for the defense this year, there's no way we're a playoff team. Our defense is not good enough. Our secondary is absolutely atrocious. And we're going to get into that right now. I want to show you a few other stats. What is one of the keys of the game that I told y'all was going to be extremely important for this game? Keeping King Henry, keeping Justin Herbert off the field. They beat us in time of possession by almost 9 minutes. Now, again, we did shut him down. No, we didn't shut him down. We contained him somewhat. 25 carries, 80 yards. That's not terrible. But in total, they had 141 yards on the ground. This is the part that just kills me. Ryan Tannehill was like the worst rated quarterback last week. And he threw 3 interceptions. And this week, he had 246 yards and only had 4 incomplete passes. That's insane. We are the only team that would make Tannehill look this good. That's crazy to me. And that's where we get into our biggest segment of today. And I don't even know where to begin. I know there are people that are still telling me, like, you know what, we still need more time with Staley. It's too early in the season. Somebody please give me a reason why you would keep this man right now. At this point, I think it's beyond how bad our defense is. He has repeatedly shown us that he is not a defensive genius. But I feel like the culture has to be damaged at this point. How can you go into this locker room with the talent that you have and continuously lose games like this by 3 scores? How many times do we do this? We were up 11-0. And the crazy part is, we let them back into the game immediately. Right after we went 11-0, they came and dropped like a 50-yard bomb on us. I don't know how to do this anymore. And you know what the crazy part is, and the part that just kind of like really drives me even more insane? If we were to fire Staley, who do we hire? Are the Spanos family going to cheap out again and go for another rookie coach? How many times are we going to go through this cycle? How many times is Herbert going to have to go through a new scheme? I mean, how is he ever going to reach his potential if we constantly keep changing offenses and staff? But it sucks because Staley's not that guy. If that was weird. I was watching this stream and they made so one of the people watching the stream made a comment, and the comment was somewhat like, if you had to hear Staley out to save his job, what is something that he could tell you to be able to keep his job? And I don't know what that would be. Can anybody think of a game where you were like, oh my God, Staley had such a great game plan. Staley made the right calls. Man, what a coaching job. When can we ever say that Staley outcoached anybody? There was only one game that came to mind, and that was Miami's game of last year. But now I don't know whether to give him the credit or the defensive coordinator that is now in Miami that credit. Because obviously we played Miami already again, and we got our asses handed to us. You've already signed all the guys you said you needed. Our secondary has good players on it, and they are consistently being absolutely cooked. We're not great at stopping the run. We're not great at stopping the pass this year. And again, against Tannehill. It's not like we're doing this against, like, dude. And you know, the crazy part is, man, we are going to play Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson next week. A team that is very good offensively. I don't know what we do at this point, man. How do we stop this? Look, Bull fam, I want to be optimistic, man, but I can't believe in Staley. I don't think we're a playoff team right now. This team has a lot of issues. I still want to be optimistic. I'm going to support this team no matter what. I'm in it. It sucks that I have to be a fan of this team, and that means I'm supporting the Spanos family, who have consistently let us down. I wish he would sell the team, but I can't support Staley anymore, man. There was more bad decisions. In overtime, when they had to try to get a field goal, it was 3rd and 1. The Titans had Spears in. They had Henry out to rest him. Staley took a timeout, gave Henry more time to rest. The Titans brought him back in, and they got a first down because Staley took a timeout. And that shit pissed me off because all it did was remind me of the Raider game 2 years ago, where they were just going to probably run out the clock and both of us would have made the playoffs. But no, that's not what we do. That's not what Staley does. There's times where I'm like, we go for it on 4th down, and times where like it just feels like we should have, and then we don't. It's weird to me. Like, it feels like Staley's game plan when it comes to going for it on 4th down. It feels like he flips a coin, and it's like, oh, heads we go for it, tails we don't. It doesn't seem like he has a game plan for it. It feels like it's extremely just random. It's just too many inefficient calls. I know we challenged the touchdown to Palmer. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think his foot was down, so I don't know why we did, but a lot of people thought he did. A lot of people said it was obvious. I didn't see it, but I don't know, man. I don't want to keep getting angry about this. I already know what Staley is. He's one of the worst head coaches in the league. That's clear now. If you can't admit that to this point, I don't know how else to sell you. Can you please explain to me anything he has done correctly outside of correcting our special teams? Yes, he has improved his record every year with us. But like I said, how many of those games are we winning because of Staley instead of in spite of him? There's a difference. Like I said, you look at teams like the Chiefs, they find ways to win no matter what. They are just good teams. They are good coaches that just no matter what get the best out of their team. I look at the Rams. The Rams have so many young players, so many players that are no names, and look at how hard they're playing. Sean McVay constantly seems to get the best out of his players, and all these no-name guys are coming in and they are doing incredible. But that's not what we do, right? We have Brandon Staley. I don't know how much longer we're going to have to be in this situation because I don't know what you do at this point. I don't feel like Kellen Moore has been here long enough to take the interim head coaching job. Like, I mean, it looks like the offense is still learning his playbook. To just put him as an interim head coach, I don't know. But I mean, at this point, honestly, I think we have to let Staley go. I don't think this can go on. At some point, when do you break the culture of this team? At some point, when does the locker room stop listening? How can you be in so many close games and be able to sell your locker room how great that you think they are? I'm tired of you going up to the podium and saying we weren't good enough. We know that. We see that. I am tired of hearing it from you, Staley. Do better. But at this point, I can't even ask that of you because I don't think you can do better. I think even if you have a few good games in a row, you won't do it consistently. Same thing, like, I know a lot of people now are all uber excited about Bosa. Bosa, you had a good game. Great. Can you stay available all season? Can you do this all season? If you get one sack every 6 games, then I'm sorry, this game means nothing. Can you do this consistently? That is what we need to see. I don't think Charger fans are criticizing you because they don't think you're great. We know you're great. That's why we criticize you, because we constantly see that you don't show up consistently enough. That is what pisses us off. So I don't want to hear about Bosa having a great game today, because again, I need you to do that consistently, and I need you to be more available. The best ability you can have is availability. Now, Tui, bro, you amazing, man. You did a great job. You give me hope that you can be a great edge rusher next season when we lose Mac. But having you in there learning from these two guys, I think you can be absolutely incredible, and I'm super excited to see you grow. I'm happy about that. I'm excited to see Henley. I think we got some good pieces. But I got to say this, man. For a lot of the defense, we're paying some of these guys way too much money to not be that great. At this point, we should just trade everybody if we're going to be this bad and be paying so much money to our defense. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. At this point, we could even take the cap hit for J.C. Jackson. It feels like he's more of a liability than he is an asset at this point. Bosa's cap hit is too heavy to trade. But next season, we don't need to keep Mac. If we can get rid of most of these salaries at this point, do it. It's not benefiting us anyways. We're still crappy on defense. It won't be any worse to just have some mid-tier players. That's just where I'm at. Anyways, that was just me ranting, man. I'm sorry. I didn't realize how long I've been ranting. The only thing I ask of you if you end up watching this video is, can you convince me to keep Staley if you are on that boat? And if we don't, what do we do? Would Kellen Moore be the interim head coach? How long do we go before we say Staley has lost his job? How long do we go? I don't know what we do at this point. I feel like I don't want the culture to get ruined. That's the main reason why I want Staley gone at this point. I think the players might need a new voice. Anyways, y'all. Look, man, I know today is going to be rough. And I don't know how the hell we're going to stop the Vikings, because they're also a team that's in must-win mode. They are strong offensively, and we are horrible defensively. So this is going to be interesting. Anyways, look, man, I'll catch you guys soon, but get some rest. Let's try to be optimistic. Let's see how this plays out. And I don't know. Maybe they'll surprise us. I don't think that storm is brewing anytime soon. But maybe we can start it back up. Peace out, y'all. We'll talk soon.